welcome to another edition of Blind Beer Taste Test. My guest this time is Jeff.
Howdy, folks.
Great name, obviously. So we're doing double IPAs today, or an Imperial IPA if you want to call it that, pretty much the same thing. But I didn't even ask you, we're doing these ones because I actually bought these a few months ago and have not done the tasting yet. We're doing a little barbecue tonight, so Jeff is a lover of all beer, so I figured let's just knock these ones out because double IPAs are unique, not everyone loves them. So, but what is your go-to beer? Anyway, even if it's not a double IPA.
I'm an all-day IPA.
Oh yeah?
Founders, they just started carrying them in the grocery store here when they changed
Nice.
the beer store laws.
So it's even just at 5%?
Yeah, I think it's 4.7, something, yeah.
Nice, right on. So more of like a session IPA.
Exactly.
Right on. Very cool, man. But you obviously like the double IPAs, you like everything.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So the IPAs that we're going to do today, they're all local to Utah. So we got the Squatters double rising, hop rising double IPA. We're going to do Red Rock's Elephino double IPA. And then the newest one to Salt Lake, this is from TF Brewing, the Templin family. Ferda's, their Imperial double IPA. Look at the ABV on that one. What's that one?
We're looking at about 8% here.
8%, right? 8.2 on the Ferda. And then I think this is a 9 if I remember right. Yep, a 9 on the hops rising. So a double IPA, most people know, obviously an IPA, the Imperial Pale Ale. I just recently learned though the whole story about that they had to add extra hops so it could make the journey to India. That's why it's an Indian Pale Ale, sorry, not Imperial. India Pale Ale, the Imperial is going to Russia. But an India Pale Ale, that story is actually false. That's not true, yeah. That is not why they just started doing this like in the 70s, I think was the first IPA. They just took a Pale Ale, added more hops, people liked it, and then for some reason that story got there.
No.
But as far as I know, an Imperial, which is the same idea, extra hops, is true that they had to take those from Europe up to the Russian Tsars, to the Imperials, and they liked one for the travel, the hops are a preservative, and then also they just like the hoppiness of the extra ones.
Interesting.
So it's weird, it's the same idea, but...
My understanding is like the higher alcohol content, the longer it'll stay as well.
Yep.
So when I'm brewing beer, if I do a higher content, I'm going to want to make that, essentially age longer than the rest
Exactly.
of the beer.
And that's, so to that point, it's a double, because it's literally double the amount of hops, which is obviously for flavor, and then also does help keep it longer. And then it's double the malts too, which is just the barley, of course, being cooked down to malt. When you double the malt, that's what gives it the high alcohol content, which helps it hold longer. The alcohol keeps it fresh.
And finding that balance is very tricky because a lot of
Okay.
people, especially those higher hop content beers,
Yeah.
they forget about the malt and it's just blasting you with hops, and that's
Alright.
not really something I'm a huge fan of. But
Yeah.
having that nice balance, I think one of my favorites in this category is it's a Vermont company and it's really hard to find. I'll think of the name and come back to you.
Not
on that one.
Dogfish Head.
No,
Obviously, because
it's-
they're not hard to find.
They're not hard to
Yeah.
find at all. Yeah, I'll come back to that.
Oh, nice.
I don't know why I'm brain farting on this.
Yeah,
right
you're
now.
good, man. Yeah, I've never actually brewed it, but I'd imagine it's definitely a fine balance to up your numbers that high and keep it.
Heady topper.
I have heard of that. actually.
Heady topper. It's
Alright.
one of those like Pappy Van Winkles. Really
Alright,
hard to
yeah.
come across beers, but when you do find it, I've had the opportunity to taste one of them,
Huh.
and it drinks like pale ale,
It's a double IPA?
but it crushes you like a
Holy
higher
cow.
alcohol content.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Last thing I'll mention is Ferda is what I think is my favorite now. I've drank all these numerous times. When I had Ferda, that one was like, damn, that's a delicious double IPA. So I think that's the one I'm gonna really like. But we'll find out. And then it'll just be fun to see what we enjoy, even if we can't really guess. This episode isn't gonna be about guessing which one is which, because I don't know about you, but I'm not an expert on any three of these. So, but we'll see what happens. So, all right, we'll cut and come back. All right, welcome back. We got these poured. So first, we won't spend too much time on color, but what are you thinking, man?
Yeah, I
That's
see
pretty
one
interesting how different that is.
that's clearly darker than the rest.
Cloudy and more amber.
And if I were to guess, the dark one would be the Elephino. But
Why did you say
Elephino.
that?
I just feel like I've had the Elephinos
Yeah.
at the brewery before, and I just felt like that was a darker one.
That's interesting. That it's cloudy too, because none of them are unfiltered. I didn't think,
Yeah.
but that is basically an unfiltered IPA. Yeah, you can see the yeast floating around in that. Huh. All right. I had no clue.
Yeah,
Alright,
color-wise, I just see one major difference. These look pretty similar side by side. They are different glasses.
Let you drink and see
Enough.
what we think. We'll start with number one. Cheers.
Not as aromatic as I would have thought for a double IPA.
Yeah. Yeah, right off the bat, I would not assume that's a double IPA. That's actually really smooth. That's not too hoppy. Granted, it's past its prime. It is just slightly more than 3 months old.
They do say with
So-
IPAs, drink them quick,
Yep.
because those hops will
So
diminish.
that may not be completely fair. All right, yeah, I like it. I don't.
Do you have a guess of which one that would be?
I don't, not yet. Other than it's just so. Well, now I've got in my own head that like we're drinking old beer. It's not even that old. These are like literally 3.5 months to 4 months old, so they should still.
And as long as no oxygen gets to them, they should
No.
be fine.
They've been
Sealed
refrigerated. They've been
bottles.
obviously totally sealed.
Alright, so this one, the darker color, smells a little malty.
Very different. Yeah, way more malt.
Feeling like I might get 1 out of 3 here.
What is that? I like that it's got. I like the flavor.
So
It's
I want to
definitely more to
switch.
it.
I don't think that's the Elephino
Alright.
anymore. I think that's the Squatters hop rising.
You think that is?
The number 2, yeah.
Number two?
But let's see how this
I'm gonna drink number 3. Yeah, that's.
Oh gosh, this is so memorable to me.
All right. Yep, that's so different. The hops on it is completely unique. That's Elephino to me. That tastes like a Red Rock beer. I do, yeah. That's my guess. I'm not positive by any means. My guess. For some reason, I'm literally picturing myself sitting in their restaurant.
Yes.
Drinking, like the smell, taste, that's taking me back to Red Rock.
Yeah, I could drink a lot of this one, even though it's the double.
It's a,
It'll sneak up on you double.
I almost wonder if the first one is that TF Brewing, the Ferda.
Okay.
Just because I remember when I drank it, I was like, that is an amazing double IPA. And I think it's more because I was expecting to get punched in the face, which I don't mind, but I didn't get punched in the face, and it was pleasant. It was kind of like, oh, all right.
Found the right balance.
Exactly. It didn't take 3 sips in for it to like really, settle in with my palate. So, my guess, just off the top, Ferda, hops rising, Elephino. But totally disagree with me.
So, these two taste familiar to me, and I've never had the Ferda one.
Which would make sense.
So, just to play devil's advocate,
Okay.
I'm going to go with my gut from color, even though my
Okay.
taste says something different.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that the middle, number 2, is going to be the Elephino,
All right.
and the hops rising is number 3. One of us has to be right.
Yeah. But see, that's what's interesting. Is number 2 is not. I'm saying that it's hops rising, but it doesn't make me think hops rising.
Yeah.
It's more because I think that's Ferda and I think that's Elephino. It's just the odd man out. That's the only reason that I think that. I've never known hops rising to be cloudy, unfiltered, amber. So I could totally. Man, now you're making it up.
I'm going to go back to the number 1.
Whatever. I'm wanting to almost like go with you, but no, I'm sticking with it. What do you like the best?
That's what I'm trying to figure out now.
Yeah, screw what. Who cares what it is?
What is what? trying to give this. What was the new one that I haven't had before?
Ferda.
Ferda. And are they a downtown brewery? Where
Yeah,
are they?
yep. Templin family, TF Brewing.
Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye out for them.
They make a really good Hefeweizen too. At the grocery store, you pick that one up. It's delicious.
I'm liking this one because I think
It's just so smooth.
the newness to me.
Yeah.
These feel familiar. The newness to me, and I think it's very well balanced. It's
It
not
is.
too hoppy. It's not too malty. I'd love to smell how it tastes from the brewery itself
Yeah.
when it's nice and fresh. All of these beers will probably have a bit more aroma
Yeah,
too,
for sure.
right from the brewery. But
Yeah, whatever number one is, I want to go back to it from a fresh can or bottle. I think I like it. But I love hoppiness. But there's something. It's just a good balance, even though it doesn't have the hoppiness that the bitterness that I normally would crave. I just think they made a really good double IPA. If you can make a double IPA 9% almost, that well balanced, you've done something right.
I'm leaning on number one as my favorite.
Number 3 is actually my least favorite.
Number 3 is your least favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's the Elephino, and I would drink it. Like, don't get me wrong. I'll continue to drink whatever it is, but it's my
Sometimes-
least favorite if I had to choose.
Sometimes my point of drinking doubles or these kind of beers is to get a flavor while I'm drinking it, but also to let the alcohol do its job. So I
True.
don't necessarily focus too much
Good
on
point,
flavor
yeah.
sometimes.
You're normally,
Because after a few of them, you don't even notice the flavor.
You're normally having a good meal too, eating a fat burger or something
Yeah.
with it. I'm really interested in number 2 though, why that's unfiltered, yet they don't mention that. Am I crazy, or do you agree with me? There's yeast floating in it. That's unfiltered yeast.
So you may have gotten the bottom of the bottle.
Or I just got a dirty glass.
Or dirty.
All right, cool. I'm done. Number 1, number 2, number 3 for me in terms of preference.
Okay.
Ferda, hops rising, Elephino. You,
I'm gonna go Ferda, Elephino, hops rising.
and in order of favorites.
Favorites, I'm gonna lean on Ferda. It's my new favorite.
All right. And now what about number 2 and number 3?
They're toss up to me.
All right.
Yeah, I can't
Either one?
really lean on one
All right.
more than the other.
Well, let's see.
Were we way off?
I'm totally off. Number 1,
Number
Elephino.
one! Oh, it is my favorite.
Dude, all right, so I'm a fan of Elephino. Go
Yeah.
Red Rock. I had no clue.
It's been a
Number
while.
2, hops rising.
Oh
I
my
did get that one
goodness.
right.
Well
It was a
done.
lucky guess, but that was like the odd man out. I didn't
Yeah.
think that. So that it does not say. And I know I'm standing outside of the frame. I should sit back down. And then of course number 3, Ferda.
Okay.
That's funny, dude, because when I drank this for the first time, I was like, "That's my new favorite double IPA. This is amazing." I was also on my way to a concert, and so I was just in a good mood.
That happens. And that's part of the beer that I love, you know.
That's
Elephino
funny, man.
reminds me of a
Dude.
friend here that took us to Red Rock. The hops rising reminds me of a friend that I do a bunch of
Yeah.
backcountry skiing. He's moved out to Seattle.
Yeah.
So like
That's
all of
funny,
these
man.
beers have more so than just flavor or aroma
Totally.
profile for me. They've got a whole
Which is funny though, because to that point, I swear I could picture myself sitting in Red Rock downtown. But really, I was sitting about time at the Gateway, about to go see Rob Thomas in concert
nice.
with good old Jenny. Jenny, shout out. Where you at? Where you at?
Hey,
Yeah,
Hey.
drinking that Ferda. Didn't I say this is my new favorite double IPA?
you sure did.
Very
Well, guess what?
interesting.
It's my least favorite double IPA now.
Oh, there's so many more.
Exactly. No, they're all really good. And like I say, it's not that I dislike it by any means. It's just my least favorite of these 3.
For sure.
All right, man. Well, thank you. Appreciate you doing this with me.
And thanks for the invite.
Of
Anytime.
course. Right on. Well, thank you. Go ahead and stop the video.